Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I have a bunch of DC updates for you today. Updates on the Sandman and Netflix series. Batwoman, looks like we may have seen the new suit. Black Adam, when will it start filming? Amber Heard, is she back in Aquaman 2? David Ayer has a quite a interesting update for his cut of the Suicide Squad. And also, Kevin Costner talks about if he will return in Zack Snyder's Justice League. There is more Batman things going on the Batman set. There's definitely more Easter eggs for possibly other characters that could possibly enter that universe if the Batman is successful and if they want to expand on that as well. But before all that, I have to thank, of course, like every day, my members of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you to all the members, guys and girls. You are literally the lifeline of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much. And like I said, if we get up to 100 members, we'll definitely have a random prize drawing for the members. And if you're subscribed and we get up to 15,000 subscribers, we will also have a random prize drawing for us as well on that 15,000 subscriber video with an awesome DC merchandise that I will be sending out. All right, on with the news. First things first. The first day of Sandman apparently was filmed. This is coming from Neil Gaiman himself. I'm just about to watch the first day's dailies from Sandman and realize that the people reading Sandman now are the last ones to get to read it in a world where there's been no Sandman adaptation, where you can't see it on a screen. I heard the groaning hinges of the world. Kind of funny how Ray Porter himself says, congratulations to you, although you need at least one hirsute, yet affable American in your cast, I may know someone. Yes, he did voice Beelzebub in Sandman in the podcast series, but now they're actually filming, and we don't have any behind the scenes look of the Sandman for this one, but there are dailies. That means they're shooting, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what this looks like. But Netflix is very, very secretive, as you may know from other series as well. They're really tight-lipped, and so we'll probably won't get to see anything from Sandman for a while until they're actually ready to show us actual scenes and actual teaser or trailer. And sometimes when you're finally going to get the trailer, the show like comes out like right after. It doesn't take long for a Netflix series or movie to be released right after seeing the trailer. So really excited to see Sandman and finally get to actually dive deep into this series. Like I've said before, I haven't read the comic books, but I'm really eager to see this adaptation nonetheless. Next thing, there is a new update for Batwoman. Looks like we're getting our first look at Batwoman's new suit as they're shooting right now. This is the behind the scenes video. That is an awesome looking car. And if you really squint, and look, it does look like that could be her new look. I can't really see the suit at all, but judging from the hair, how it's not the straight down hair, it's the curls, I'm going to imagine that that's her new suit that Jim Lee drew for DC fandom, which is by far a better looking suit for her than what they had for Ruby Rose in the first season. And so I'm really eager to see what this looks like. This is from far away. You get a good look at the car. The car looks fantastic. It looks awesome. It's got even the symbol on it. I'm really looking forward to seeing a little bit more from Batwoman, Javicia Leslie. I want to see that, like, just a great, nice shot, promotional shot, even on a magazine or something, of what she indeed looks like for Batwoman. I haven't checked out Batwoman season 1 other than the first episode, so I'm really eager to go into that, so that way I can give you my honest opinion and honest thoughts for season 2. But that is the Batwoman. On to DC films. A lot of these films are pushed back, especially Black Adam. The release date on that is yet to be known. But at least, I'm really comforted in the fact that they are going to be shooting. The Rock confirmed today, and this is coming from Geek Vibes Nation. The Rock confirms that filming on Black Adam will indeed start in spring 2021. Now, there was supposed to have been shooting already the summer of this year, but of course everything was pushed back. I think they have a cast and crew ready to go. We still don't know who's going to play Cyclone. We still don't know who's going to play Dr. Fate. And I'm still kind of like crossing my fingers and hoping that Henry Cavill shows up as Superman for this movie as well. But there's a huge cast of characters for it, and looks like they are going to have to get everything ready to go as soon as spring 2021 hits, and then they can start shooting Black Adam. And I'm really hoping they do, because once they start shooting and they stop shooting, then I can really, for a fact, be sure that this is going to be an actual movie coming out. Because right now, just like The Flash, there's nothing right now. It's just concept drawings. There's people playing certain characters, but in order for me to really believe it's an actual film that's coming out, it's got to start shooting. And I can't wait for that to actually happen. So that is Black Adam. Now, another movie that they're also is still not in production yet, but we've already had the first movie. And there are situations happening with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Personal, by the way, it doesn't have anything to do. They haven't done really anything other than being really bad, having a bad relationship. But this is according to Grace Randolph, that Amber Heard is definitely back in Aquaman 2. She said this: Ezra Miller and Johnny Depp are definitely in Fantastic Beasts 3. Amber Heard is definitely in Aquaman 2. However, they are shooting so that Depp and Heard's roles can be decreased if there is bad press. Also, there's a new female character will be in Aquaman 2. Who will be the new female character in Aquaman 2? I know there's a lot of different guesses out there, and I don't even want to guess right now, but that could mean anything from a minor role to a supporting role to a bigger role. I don't know. But that is good to hear for Mara fans, that Amber Heard will definitely reprise her role for Mara. And we'll see soon, because it's definitely not shooting anytime soon. They still got to go through all those other films as well. But definitely Aquaman 2 is definitely going to happen, and why not? Aquaman 1 reached $1 billion, over $1 billion in the box office. They're going to definitely green light to Aquaman 2. And because I'm a Superman fan, I would just like to say, can you throw in Superman just for like the Atlantean fight? Maybe. Australian fight. If Atlanteans are going to invade Sydney, Australia, throw Superman in there, have him assist Aquaman, even have Batman in there as well. Might as well. Just throw him in there. Might as well. But that is for Aquaman 2. Now, there is a movie that we've been wanting to see for a long time now, and that is David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Well, David Ayer revealed today that he actually has watched his cut of Suicide Squad. This is the tweet he put out. I took the hits like a good soldier when the studio cut hit the streets. It's who I am. I watched my cut for the first time since it was abandoned. It is effing amazing, on God. I feel guilty for years like I effed. Nope. It's fire. It's the tone of the Comic-Con trailer, 100%. And that was a fantastic trailer. The tone of that wasn't the uplifting, comedic trailer that the other trailers were. It had a tone in there, a serious tone, and it was kind of somber, and it was kind of tragic as well. And I loved that. I wanted to see that version. So it's great to hear him reiterate that his Suicide Squad is going to be that version, and that it's going to be great. So the biggest part of this tweet, though, is that he said, I watched my cut for the first time since it was abandoned. When in a tweet in 2018, he said this, and thanks to Cut Will Rise for putting this out. Well, since you asked nicely, I have no control or access to old work media from any of my films. The copyright holder controls it. this was back in 2018. So does this mean that he is getting an opportunity to see it again for the first time in years? Why would that be? Well, if you think back when Zack Snyder was able to show his cut to execs back in February, and that really enabled his cut to get released, could this be what's happening? We did the same thing, right? Remember when we had that date where we're like, we got to make a lot of noise because somebody's watching, and then eventually Zack Snyder got to get his cut release? We did the same thing with David Ayer. Could he would have been able to show his cut to execs and have them approve it? I mean, and if that's the case, that on October of 17, or at least this month, or even this year, that they were able to show it, that could spell great hope, a lot of hope for the Ayer cut fans, that will definitely get his Suicide Squad pretty soon, or at least an announcement for it pretty soon. And like I've said, they've got to be thinking this in a world where there is COVID-19 and there is no theaters. There's no real, these blockbuster films are not being released in theaters, that this will be a great opportunity to really up the content over on HBO Max, because people are at home watching that, or still afraid to go to the movie theaters to watch that, right? So this would be a great opportunity for Jason Kilar and HBO Max and Warner Media to go into the vaults to grab whatever the cut they can do, whatever cuts they have, finish them up with a meager VFX or editing, and throw it on HBO Max, whether it's the Ayer cut, the Schumacher cut, whatever. Just get it on and add more content, build up the library for HBO Max, so that it will be a feasible streaming service from here on out. And before HBO Max releases Zack Snyder's Justice League, Disney is already doing it. They're throwing everything and anything at Disney Plus. They're investing in Disney Plus because they know that's the future. I don't doubt that HBO Max and Warner Media thinks the same. So that's great news. I'm excited. I hope this means really great things, and that David Ayer will finally get his cut of Suicide Squad released. Speaking about cuts, there's the Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're waiting for that, and looks like the team over at Cinema Blend was able to talk to Kevin Costner about if he will return in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm going to read you this article from Cinema Blend. Is Kevin Costner in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Here's what he tells us. During the press day for Focus Features' upcoming drama, Let Him Go, I had the absolute honor of speaking with Kevin Costner on behalf of Cinema Blend. Now, seeing as we've run a couple stories about Zack Snyder's Justice League around these parts, it felt like a good idea to poke around that very subject with Mr. Costner, which led to a very cryptic but also entertaining response. He said this: I don't know. You don't want to be kissing and telling in life. You're poking me a little bit. I can't tell you. If there's any one attribute the world should respect from an actor who's even considered a role in a comic book property, it has to be secrecy. Though rather than just brushing off the question, Kevin Costner used his easy charm and good nature to deflect the matter into a gray area that neither confirms nor denies we'll see Superman's father appearing yet again. And to be quite honest, it was a beautiful thing to behold. So in their minds, in Cinema Blend's mind, and the article, the writer for the article, Mike Reyes, I think that's how he says his name, that he's totally in Zack Snyder's Justice League, as Sean O'Connell has said right here. But I do remember on Vero at one point when someone asked if Jonathan Kent was going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I don't have the pictures to show it, but I do really truly remember, and it could be in an older video, that Zack Snyder merely gave a wink, signaling that Kevin Costner would indeed be back as Jonathan Kent in Zack Snyder's Justice League. In fact, we'll also hear the voice of Jor-El Jor-El is also going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League as well. So we'll have both fathers in there, and I think it would be a totally emotional and magical and beautiful moment to have both of them interact in some fashion with Henry Cavill's Clark Kent in Zack Snyder's Justice League as when he's revived. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm getting chicken skin, goosebumps just thinking about the idea of that happening, and just the emotions we'll probably be going through when those scenes happen. So I can't wait for that to happen. But since we're talking about potentially seeing, even Ben Affleck's Batman in Zack Snyder's Justice League, let's talk about the other Batman. I know I totally tricked you on that, but the Batman apparently is going to be set in 2019. I don't know if you remember the rumors back in the day where they were thinking, writers and scoopers were saying it's going to be set in the 90s. It's going to be set in the 90s, and we were trying to do the math and counting it backwards from when Ben Affleck's Batman was saying 20 years in Gotham. And so I was like, okay, so 20 years in Gotham, then maybe Matt Reeves the Batman, and Robert Pattinson is like a younger version of Ben Affleck. Well, it's now official, dispelling that whole thing. The Batman is set in 2019. This is coming from Discussing Film, which they got it from comicbook.com. What they're really getting in the picture from is this picture on set on the Batman, where it's a licensed taxi cab with the year 2019 on it. And that's pretty much it. It's set in 2019, which makes total sense because when you watch the trailer and other behind the scenes, you see all the goons, all the henchmen, they're holding cell phones. In fact, one of them was doing this with a cell phone, capturing Robert Pattinson's Batman kicking the crap or punching the crap out of one of the henchmen, and he had a cell phone. So of course the 90s really didn't have cell phones. They had pagers, Motorola's like this big. So it's like that was a cell phone in that shot. So we actually do know that it's more in the present time. But if you're wondering what year, now we have it. It's set in 2019. Now, yesterday's video, I was talking about how we could really expand this universe. If Robert Pattinson's Batman does well, and Robert Pattinson wants to come back as Batman, and if the studio wants to expand this universe into its own extended universe in some way, there could be a way to do that, especially with the multiverse idea. We could have Gal's Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, Henry Cavill's Superman, totally continue on in one universe, and maybe the Batman could continue on another. Speculation, like 100% speculation, but with more added things, adding to that speculation today. More universe building in the Batman. Grace Randolph actually tweeted this out today, and there's a lot of behind the scenes sets, but this one picture says it all. And here's hashtag Wonder Woman. Weird that the 2 out of 3 of the Trinity would exist without the Batman. I wonder how Bruce Wayne will react to these costumes. I've heard that if the film is popular enough, it could be part of the DCEU. As of now, my vote is yes. Hashtag DC. So you do see a picture here. Wonder Woman and Superman right next to. So yes, it's a Halloween party. It could mean nothing at all, and they're just saying that these are just costume characters that kind of look like Wonder Woman and kind of look like Superman for people who are really looking, or that, like I've said, these characters exist in this universe. There's possibly a Superman out there, a Wonder Woman out there. That's why they made costumes for people to wear, because it's kind of like marketing for actual characters that actually are in this world. And so we looked further, and there's some fans that actually have come to look at all these, take pictures of all these different sets. There's even one of Flash. There's the actual Flash symbol right here. Like, I've seen other pictures where it was just a thunderbolt, and I was like, that's just a thunder. That means nothing. But the one that people are looking at is the one with the thunderbolt with the circle around it, which is clearly a Flash symbol. So yeah, Flash could definitely occupy part of this universe as well. But the real catch here is the actual newspapers that littered the sets here, and they're found on these sets. You can actually, the people can look really closely at these little Gotham, and the one that they're looking at is the Gotham Times, this newspaper right here, because within that newspaper, the Gotham Times, you really look really close into it, and it does say Metropolis in there. There's a word they call out the city Metropolis in here. Even further, it says this: the bus was like I think it's his hive of innocent little faces looking up to the skies, fingers pointed everywhere, looking for you know who. Okay, so is that pertaining to Superman looking up in the sky? Are they looking at Superman, or are they just talking about Batman? So there's probably people going to take a lot more pictures of the sets and looking at really closely at the different newspapers and stuff. This could definitely be 100% just Easter egg material, just like in Superman Returns, where they kind of talked about how Superman was in Gotham for a little bit. But like Grace Randolph said, either they could expand its own universe from Batman, or find a way to connect the Batman to the DCEU somehow, possibly through the Flash movie and changing of the multiverse and stuff. Honestly, in my opinion, if I wanted to do this, and I talk about it at length on my podcast, you can check out anywhere, Ping Pong Flix Hot Dog Hour. I would rather have them expand, if they want to, the Batman universe to have its own Batman, have its own Wonder Woman, have its own Superman, Aquaman, its own Justice League, and its own Flash, and so on and so forth, rather than trying to fit in Robert Pattinson's Batman into the existing DCU that's occupied by Henry Cavill Superman. I think for me, it's just like reading different runs of certain Justice League, that they could definitely have its own universe, its own Earth, its own. Let it occupy its own Earth, have its own physics in a way, its own science fiction, its own science, and have the DCU continue to grow on this side as well. Why not? Just market both and really drive home the idea of the multiverse by having these multiple iterations occupy that same medium theatrically, or even on HBO Max, however they want to do it. But I think that's fantastic, and it just makes DC fans like myself excited to be able to not have to wait for certain storylines to continue or to grow out of, and just really get excited for the fact that we could definitely get some cool, really, I know these aren't Superman and Wonder Woman, that world, but like the idea of them existing and maybe possibly one day actually having Robert Pattinson team up with his own version of Superman in his world, his own version of Wonder Woman and Flash and things like that. It just makes me so excited. I'm truly fascinated by that idea, and I hope that actually does happen one day. All right. Well, that is it for this weekend. I want to thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content of movies, shows, and video games, please click the like button. Hit that subscribe. Ring that notification bell. Keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.